questions. The mitochondria structure and function. So this is mitochondria. First, I have written the structure. You all practice the diagram. I have drawn this diagram, and maybe your biochemistry, you must have had this thing. And in physiology, I searched. I did not get. I have made. This is a the cristae are there. This is having an outer membrane, inner membrane, right? And cristae are there. So then they contains number of these things, ribosomes. Then we have these granules, phospholipid granules, the phospholipid granules there, and the DNA molecule, and many of these ribosomes and ATP synthase are present, and peroxisome enzymes. That means these are the various the things I have labeled and I have drawn from my own hand. This is the structure of the mitochondria. Now, what are the functions of the mitochondria? I have explained here. Maybe I would not go as detail. I will just read them. So these have two membranes, the outer membrane and inner membrane. The membranes are made up of phospholipids and proteins. I don't want to tell about that. The space in between the two membranes is called a intermembrane space. This is intermembrane space there. This is it. And which has the same composition. The membrane has same composition. That means here the fluid has the same composition as that of the cytoplasm. However, the protein content in this space is different from the cytoplasm. The outer membrane is smooth, and it has a number of protein molecules which forms the porins. These porins allow molecules lesser than 5 kD, 5 kilodaltons or 5,000 daltons. So now that means they will allow this movement of certain ions and other things. The outer membrane is completely permeable to nutrient molecules. This is because of these molecules, ions, ATP and ADP molecules. The inner membrane, this part of blue one, it contains complexes of the electron transport chain and ATP synthase complexes. It has the complexes for EC transport chain, and they are there. And it is permeable only to gases, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and to water. It's made up of a large number of proteins that play an important role in producing ATP, also helps in regulating a transfer of metabolites across the membrane, this component. Now, the cristae, that means these foldings, these cristae help to increase the surface area of the for the complexes of the whatever this packed structure and protein that aid the production of the ATP and energy. The matrix is a complex mixture of enzymes. In this matrix, complex mixture of enzymes that are important for the synthesis of ATP molecules, mitochondrial ribosomes, tRNA, mitochondrial DNA. Besides these, it has oxygen, carbon dioxide, and other recyclable intermediates inside this. The mitochondria have their own DNA, and they have their own machinery for protein synthesis and reproduce the process of fission like bacteria do. And because of this thing, mitochondria can multiply, they can divide by themselves, and they can synthesize a new protein by themselves. This is briefly about whatever the structure related issues with this thing. Hope that is clear. Now, the functions of the mitochondria include, it goes untold, production of ATP. It is involved in calcium homeostasis. It is involved in the heat generation, especially those brown adipose tissue where the heat generation takes place. And it participates in the innate immunity, especially the mitochondrial antiviral signaling protein that is there. And it will be participating in the apoptosis of the cells, and it will help the stem cell regulation, and it also helps the hormone synthesis, steroid hormone synthesis and detoxification, testosterone and estrogen. And in case of the nervous tissue, this mitochondria help the neurotransmitter metabolism.